Welcome to Wesley Media Hub. Thanks for joining me for this close look at one of Australia's most successful music groups. I moved here 6 years ago, and as the latest member to join the team, this is my first assignment, so I hope you like it. At the conclusion of this video, we'd love you to subscribe to our premium YouTube channel, as our team really dig your support. AC/DC's first ever headline show was held at the Melbourne Festival Hall on November 4, 1975. They were supported by Stevie and John Paul Young. Stevie would later be in the frame as a possible replacement for Bon Scott. But before we get started, just a couple of interesting fun facts on Bon Scott. He was reported to be a big fan of show tunes, a passion that he had developed as a boy. And did you know that Bon would often stick his fringe down with Scotch tape after he had taken a shower, in order to prevent his hair from curling up too much? Now let's take a nostalgic journey through the early years of AC/DC. AC/DC Lane, located in Australia in the heart of Melbourne's central business district. Today this lane pays homage to the band, formerly known as Corporation Lane. It was officially renamed in honor of AC/DC on October 1, 2004. Melbourne's Lord Mayor at the time, John So, declared that, as the song says, there is a highway to hell, but this is a laneway to heaven. Let us rock. But let's go back to the very beginning, to Sydney, Australia, where in 1973, the Young Brothers first formed the legendary AC/DC band that we know today. Angus, famous for his schoolboy look, was their lead guitarist, and Malcolm was on rhythm guitar. The rest of the band's lineup changed when they later moved down to Melbourne. By the mid-70s, AC/DC's hard rock blues style and heavy metal-based records, in combination with their many live appearances, had quickly begun to make them favorites with music fans in Melbourne and all over Australia. AC/DC underwent several lineup changes, leading up to their groundbreaking debut album High Voltage, released in 1975. But in February of 1980, the rock and metal world changed forever, with the untimely death of Bon Scott. This marked a turning point not only for AC/DC but also for the entire genre of rock and metal music. After his passing, AC/DC, with the blessing from Scott's family, continued on, with Brian Johnson now leading the band, in the creation of the highly anticipated and extremely successful new album, Back in Black. The album's success was staggering, selling an estimated 50 million copies worldwide, making it one of the best-selling albums in music history. Formerly of the band Geordie, Brian Johnson was chosen for his unique and distinctive vocal style, characteristics that resonated well with the remaining band members. This, coupled with a huge set of lungs, had now secured Johnson the position as AC/DC's new frontman.
One of the parts I find fascinating is the breath flow. He really knows how to make that breath flow and cut it to grab attention at times. Like what? He did essentially a sudden surge and sudden cutoff of that breath flow to grab extra attention, which is really cool. And then it sounds like you've got a higher area. I don't think it's false folds, like a higher area of distortion happening in the vocal tract. So his true vocal folds, right? Those are creating the high pitch. They're going wacka 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 and making that higher pitch in his throat. Those are the lowest area where we would really create a sound source in the vocal tract. And then above that, there's tons of different areas where you can create other kinds of distortion. To me, it sounds like the distortion he's making here is a little bit higher in the vocal tract. But the air usage is really, really cool. I'm gonna come back.
Their list of album releases and worldwide smash hit after smash hit, following Back in Black, has been nothing short of phenomenal. My personal album favorite being Razor's Edge, released in 1990 and still going incredibly strong today, with a whole new generation of young fans flocking to the band's concerts, rocking out to many of those same tracks from way back in the 90s.
You telling me this old man sound like that? I mean, he probably grew old from the outside, but from the inside? Mind-blowing, bro. Mind-blowing vocals, man. Mind-blowing vocals.
AC/DC's longevity, coupled with their sheer staying power and their incredible ability to stay forever young over an astonishing 5 decades, is quite remarkable. They've certainly come a long way since those early days in Sydney. And as a new Australian citizen, I feel very honored that these guys are still rocking it out around the world today and doing Australia so proud.